Are the Lakers about to make the most ruthless roster moves in franchise history, potentially shipping out both their injury-prone veterans and their legendary superstar to completely reshape their championship aspirations? The Lakers find themselves in an absolutely fascinating position that could define the next decade of their franchise. We're not just talking about minor roster tweaks or subtle adjustments here. These are wholesale changes that would fundamentally alter the DNA of this organization while potentially setting them up for sustained success or spectacular failure. Let's start with the Maxey Kleber situation because it perfectly illustrates the Lakers' current roster construction challenges. They're essentially paying $11 million for a player who's become more of a medical mystery than a reliable rotation piece. Kleber hasn't played more than 43 games in any of the last 3 seasons, and he completely disappeared during the second half of last season after joining the Lakers in that Luka Doncic trade. For a franchise operating with salary cap restrictions, paying 8 figures for someone who might spend more time in the training room than on the basketball court represents poor resource allocation. The brutal mathematics of their situation makes this decision even more pressing because they used their non-taxpayer mid-level exception to sign DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia. They're hard capped at the first apron until January 18th. This means they literally cannot add another player to their roster right now, despite having a vacant spot available. That's organizational handcuffing at its finest, and it demands immediate action to create flexibility. Al Horford sitting out there in free agency represents exactly the kind of opportunity that championship-caliber teams need to pounce on. The veteran big man brings championship experience, defensive versatility, and the kind of basketball IQ that playoff teams desperately need during crucial moments. But acquiring Horford requires creating salary cap space, which means someone has to go. Kleber's injury history and expensive contract make him the obvious candidate for departure. The financial reality becomes even more stark when you consider that the Lakers are already committed to paying Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent 8-figure salaries for players who had their own injury concerns. Adding Kleber to that list creates a dangerous pattern of investing heavily in players who might not be available when you need them most. Championship teams cannot afford to have that much money tied up in unreliable contributors. Here's where the Lakers' decision-making becomes really interesting. They could include draft capital in a trade to move Kleber's contract, or they could use the stretch provision to spread his salary over 3 seasons while releasing him. Both options have merit, but both also come with costs that need careful consideration. Trading him with draft picks might be more expensive short-term, but provides immediate roster flexibility. Stretching his contract costs less now, but creates longer-term salary cap implications. The Horford acquisition would address multiple roster needs simultaneously. His ability to stretch the floor offensively while protecting the rim defensively represents exactly the kind of versatile big man that modern championship teams require. His playoff experience and leadership will provide invaluable guidance during those pressure-packed moments when games are decided by execution rather than talent alone. But the potential LeBron James trade scenario represents an entirely different level of franchise-altering decision-making. We're talking about potentially trading the face of the franchise, along with his son Bronny, to Miami for Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, and 2 first-round picks. This isn't just a basketball move. It's a complete philosophical shift that would signal the Lakers are prioritizing future building over immediate championship contention. The relationship dynamics between LeBron and the Lakers organization have apparently become strained, with reports suggesting he's unhappy about being replaced as the franchise's primary face. These kind of ego and power struggles can poison locker rooms and derail seasons if not handled properly. Sometimes the healthiest solution for everyone involved is a clean break that allows both parties to pursue their goals separately. From a pure basketball perspective, acquiring Wiggins would give the Lakers a younger, more athletic wing who could provide better perimeter defense while still contributing offensively. Wiggins averaged 19 points, 4, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists last season with Miami, representing solid two-way production from a player who's entering his prime rather than exiting it. His defensive versatility would allow him to guard multiple positions, which is exactly what modern NBA offenses demand. Terry Rozier adds another dimension as a proven scorer who can create his own offense when primary options are struggling. His experience in playoff situations and ability to get hot quickly makes him the kind of player who could swing games during crucial moments. The combination of Wiggins and Rozier would give the Lakers two players who are younger, healthier, and potentially more reliable than what they're trading away. Those two first-round picks represent the most valuable part of this potential deal from a long-term perspective. Draft capital has become the currency of NBA trades, and having additional picks provides the Lakers with flexibility for future moves. They could use those picks to draft and develop young talent, or package them in trades for established players who better fit their timeline and roster construction needs. The fit alongside their remaining core players also makes considerable sense. Wiggins would complement their existing pieces beautifully, providing spacing and defense without requiring heavy ball usage. This would allow other players to operate in their natural roles rather than being forced into uncomfortable situations because of roster limitations. But let's be honest about what these moves would represent. The Lakers would be acknowledging that their current championship window with LeBron might be closing, and they're choosing to prioritize sustainable success over immediate gratification. That's a difficult decision for any franchise, especially one with the Lakers' championship expectations and historical success. The timing considerations cannot be ignored either. If LeBron is genuinely considering his options and might leave as a free agent anyway, trading him now ensures the Lakers get value in return rather than losing him for nothing. That kind of asset management represents smart front office work, even if it's emotionally difficult for fans to accept. The salary cap implications of these moves would be transformational. Moving Kleber's contract and LeBron's salary would create significant financial flexibility for the Lakers to pursue other free agents or make additional trades. This kind of roster flexibility often proves more valuable than any individual player, regardless of their talent level. The defensive improvement alone would be substantial. Replacing an aging LeBron and injury-prone Kleber with Wiggins, Rozier, and potentially Horford would dramatically improve their perimeter and interior defense. Championship teams are built on defensive identity, and these moves will provide exactly that foundation. The chemistry and culture aspects also deserve consideration. Sometimes veteran players, regardless of their talent, can inadvertently create negative dynamics if they're unhappy with their situations. Moving on from disgruntled stars, while painful, often allows younger players to develop more naturally and creates better locker room environments. Here's the million-dollar question that Lakers fans need to wrestle with. Are these the kinds of ruthless but necessary moves that position a franchise for long-term success? Or are they panicked decisions that sacrifice proven talent for uncertain potential? The answer probably depends on how much confidence you have in the Lakers' ability to develop young talent and make smart use of their acquired flexibility. Should the Lakers make these difficult but potentially franchise-defining moves? Or is there too much risk in moving away from proven veterans? What's your take on sacrificing immediate championship contention for sustainable future success? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like button. If these potential moves have you as conflicted as every Lakers fan should be